Hello everybody, it's the Historical Gamer once again, and today we are returning to Grand Tactician, the Civil War. It's been a little while since we've played this game, but this is part of our Let's Play series playing as the Confederacy. It is April 25th of 1863. The war is going fairly well. We've taken Washington, D.C., we've taken Baltimore. The bulk of Maryland is under our control, but Robert E. Lee's Corps of the Army of Northern Virginia is in the process of retreating from the area around Gettysburg. He didn't actually get defeated, as far as I can tell, in a battle. He was just, I guess, compelled to withdraw due to supply problems. And so the Americans, or the Unionists, have moved their capital to Philadelphia, which we keep trying to prepare a push for. Perhaps we shouldn't have been doing so much stuff in the winter because our troops are really not ready for a major push. Their readiness levels are generally low, which is preventing us from getting that final, what I think will be the final knockout blow against the Union. So much so that I'm even tempted to bring sort of the Reserve Corps, which is garrisoning Washington, D.C. under Major General Henry McCulloch, and maybe sending them up toward Philadelphia. They only have about 9,000 men, so it may not be a great idea, but I do think I'm going to try that. And you know what? Hell, let's strip Richmond and send Philip Zolkoffer's corps up there also. They can take railroads and go up that way. And maybe they can get there as well. So Zolkoffer will begin moving in 30 minutes. They both will. So he'll definitely be lagging. We might want to... Is there a way to add a delay in the order? Let's just push it off one day. Although I think he's already going to move. Anyway, so that's the situation there. In the West, it's kind of a weird situation. We've got a corps near Hopkinsville, Kentucky. We've got a couple of corps near Nashville. We've got a whole blob of troops fighting in the left flank near the Mississippi River. And then we've also taken St. Louis, but it seems like the Federals may be bringing reinforcements to those places. So we'll see. We'll go ahead and get things underway here. There was a new patch which came out recently, which this game seems to be, the time seems to be ticking through. Whoa. 12 armies are invading. Where? Armies are invading where? Okay, West Virginia. Wilmington, we already knew about that one. North Nashville, okay. Looks like they might have a bunch of troops on transports also, so they're really stacking up a strong force here on the Mississippi. I think we're already automated fighting a battle down here, Fort Scales. Yeah, we tried to auto-resolve an assault to drive them back. We outnumber them like 4-1, although I don't know if any of those reserves will arrive in time to fight. So I imagine we'll get a battle or two here soon. It really seems like the time cruises much more efficiently. I wonder if they made some optimizations to the game. Well, it's hard to tell, really. Okay, so it looks like this corps, which had been advancing on Nashville, I believe we defeated them in a previous battle, is now withdrawing. The fight in and around this fort down here just keeps lasting, despite the fact that I believe we outnumber them pretty handsomely. You can't really see it because the text is in the way. We've got some naval reinforcements coming up. And then we're moving the Army of Virginia up toward Philadelphia. I'd like to move Lee, too, if I can. I don't know if he's just going to, like, instantly retreat, but we'll see. His readiness isn't great, but it's not bad. It's sort of in the yellow. It's like I am not drinking any alcoholic beverages tonight, although I had been having some Nika Japanese whiskey a couple nights ago. It's pretty good. All right, so we drove the Army of Pennsylvania back. See if we can drive the Army of Northeastern Virginia and Tennessee back. That battle near Fort Scales just looks like it's never going to end. And units are being routed, but I can't do anything about it, so... It claims we outnumber them very heavily, but there's a whole bunch of armies stacked up there, which makes me feel like maybe we don't. If this intel's right, there's only like 1,400 men. So we're going to try and push them back too. We got a lot going on right now. All right, our boys are moving toward Philadelphia. So we've got the Army of Alabama, green 9,000 troops, and the Army of Virginia, 9,300 troops. Some of them I think are regulars. We've got Lee over here, Magruder protecting the flank. All right. All right, so we drove the enemy back over there as well. Not quite sure where the left wing is like set to go off to Kingdom Come, but let's maybe not go all the way out that way. I don't know how to cancel their orders. I'm like blanking on that. All right, pause. Who's wounded? Someone was just wounded in action. Okay. Oh, Colonel Cummings is recovering from his injury. Okay. What, does Sherman go for his walk? Well, probably not for a while. Oh, shit. They've moved into the valley? They flanked Longstreet. Magruder, why don't you pull back and garrison D.C.? Looks like we're besieging the fort near Philadelphia now. We're just going to auto-assault, I think. There's only 13 troops there. There is another corps being mustered, 23,000 troops. Arnold surrenders. Glorious victory at Fort Mifflin. There you go. All right. So... looks like the Battle of Philadelphia is about to be fought, boys. We've got a fairly green force of about 18,000 men in two corps, the Army of Alabama and Virginia. Felix Zolkoffer is in command. It looks like William F. Smith is commanding the 3rd Corps of the Army of the Potomac. A total of some 33,000 men across two corps are coming to fight us. It means we're outnumbered almost 2-1. But we'll fight it. I mean, if we win this battle, we'll probably take Philadelphia and win the war, I would think. Their morale is at like 33 overall. And I believe losing Philadelphia will give them a 10-point hit, which would bring them below the 25% surrender level. So I think if we win this battle, we win the war. We'll see. I don't have my best commanders. I don't have my best units, but we'll see. It is 1863, Enrico. Outnumbered 2-1 on foreign territory. Let's hold and win. Dear God, let's win. Problem is at least half my force is very green, probably most of the force. And we're on the offensive. Glorious. I guess the one positive is I think their force is going to be very green also. Also, our troops are apparently split up into 2 separate wings. Each one's only a division strong. The objective's over here. Going good. All right, so we got to cross a lot of wooded terrain. All right, we are going to send McCullough down this road. I don't know. Go there. There's a swamp, but there's good roads down that way. I think. Looks like it, yeah. Meanwhile, we'll send Zolkoffer on the other flank. There's kind of a swamp, which is going to make this battle a little bit more difficult, but we'll see. We're outnumbered 2-1. We have to attack the enemy, and we also are, I think, largely green. These guys are not green. Well, maybe we're not as green as I thought. Looks like Zolkoffer's corps all isn't fighting their first battle. Yeah, I don't see any firsts here, so these guys should at least be moderately decent. They're not like super high-end veterans, but they're not green as far as I can tell. It does say some of these units are untrained, which isn't great. But I'm assuming the enemy's defending near Bishop here toward this objective. I don't see any other objectives on the map. Now, the intel did say that the federal reinforcements will come 6 hours into the battle, so once possible, they're already here. But if we can hit the enemy force at roughly even odds before their reserves come up, that would be great. Oh, shit. Well, what the hell is going on here? These guys are deployed facing south. We're coming down almost behind Union lines. Yeah, so, Bowen, you need to halt. Like, now. Just don't do anything. You guys are way too spread out here. But at least we're, like, behind their lines? As far as I can tell, at least behind their entrenchments. Quick question. You heard it's incredibly rare for the AI to choose Lee in a campaign. I don't know. I'm playing as the Union, so I chose Lee, but he's kind of buried in some of the, like he's not the first commander to come up in a lot of scenarios. I think it also depends heavily on which scenario you go with. If you go with the Winter 61 scenario, probably much less likely. All right, these guys are armed with Enfield rifle muskets. They're going to send skirmishers out. Skirmishers are going to do more damage to me than I will to them. But yeah, it's interesting. We're kind of coming down behind their lines. But we're also incredibly spread out. So that first brigade's probably going to be in some trouble. But we'll see. All right, looks like Zolkoffer's troops halted. So let's quickly get them up there deployed. Now they're going to face the entrenchments, which isn't great, but we'll kind of have the enemy caught between two wings, which could be nice. 9 versus 15. I mean, we've got a huge advantage in terms of musketry, but again, they're spaced out. These are skirmishers and We're in a battle line so much more compact. Also, they apparently have some cover and we do not. But 2,000 muskets versus 200, I imagine the weight of numbers will tell, and we'll drive the skirmishers back without hopefully too much trouble. One also wonders where the federal reinforcements will come up. They might come over here, in which case we may get stuck between two enemy forces, but if they don't, I don't know. Like, I'm assuming the enemy isn't fully deployed yet. It doesn't look like it. It says they have 24,000 units on the field, or men on the field. So that would be about 14,000 shy of their full strength, at least according to the intel. We've got the other 4 brigades coming down piecemeal. Bowen has taken a little bit of punishment here, closing in on 100 casualties. I imagine those skirmishers won't last much longer. You can see they're blinking red, which means they're probably about to be driven. There they go. They're routed. But now that they're driven off, it looks like the enemy brigade wants to fight, so they're coming up now. I'm gonna fall back. If I can. Don't get shot to pieces too much. Oh god. Just retreat, guys. Don't, like, march in a goddamn column. Just... Yeah, okay, retreat with your backs to the enemy. That's smart. And they broke. Not sure... Didn't look like they were getting hurt too bad, but I really... Alright, well, we lost 1 brigade broken. That's great. That's my own fault. Just what we need. We're already outnumbered 2 to 1. Okay, Zolkoffer's still trying to deploy. We'll speed things up a little bit. Where are you going? Don't go all the way. Oh, I originally ordered you over there, didn't I? Also, why is the commander staying so far back? That unit is marching so slowly. It's like they're not following the roads or something. Okay. So coffers coming up. Well, we're engaging another enemy skirmisher unit here from Tolbert's brigade. Really what I wanted to do, but at least we're behind some cover. We're tired though, so that's going to affect our combat performance. Can these guys move any slower? Like, you're on a goddamn road. You're fragmented and you're exhausted, Polk. Follow the damn road. Is it because... I wonder if it's because the artillery tries to move past them and they get, like, gummed up or something. Also, you guys lost 200 men. I mean, I know you're claiming you're broken, but, like, you really should rally. Okay, we drove the skirmishers off. I really don't want to fight them in a stand-up fight. I'd rather you just sit there, so I hope they don't come after me. Let my guys rest. Well, Zolkoffer deploy. Zolkoffer's tired too. It's 1,500 hours. I'm kind of tempted to wait and see if nightfall helps us out, maybe. Because more or less all my troops are tired. Some of them also used a little bit, but not a lot of ammo. Maybe Bowen can rally by the morning. But then again, the enemy reinforcements will be on the field by then. So I don't know. All right, they're winded, but they're not tired anymore. How long have I been playing Grand Tactician? Since it hit early access, so over a year. I did take a fair break, though. All right, looks like they're trying to move skirmishers onto my flank, maybe? Enfield rifle, Enfield rifle, Enfield rifle. So they've all got good guns. We also have 10-pound parrots. I don't have any real elevation to fire from for our artillery. So we'll just keep them on the road here. Why would you follow? There's no road over there. Just... Okay. How are they broken? Why would they be broken from marching? Just halt and rest then, because you shouldn't be broken. I don't want to send you in if you're morale broken, morale determined. So maybe that's the difference there, is the morale is okay. Troops in the south, these guys are resting. All right, so the enemy's reinforcements have arrived. Smith's Third Corps have been spotted joining the battlefield. But 7,000 of their troops left the battlefield? What? I don't understand that. I really don't want to attack frontally against enemy fortifications. Let's see if we can extend our position here. You're already tired. That's not going to help. All right. Skirmishers engaging our line of battle. That's not great. The casualty ratio thing. It won't drive me back, but it will hurt me more than I hurt them. We are moving at ×5 right now, mainly because we're not doing a lot at the moment. The AI is definitely weak. I mean, it's probably true of any game, though. I mean, that was smart. They've done more damage to me so far in this battle than I've done to them, which is pretty rare in this game. All right, let's do this. It's 1,700 hours. We probably won't have a great chance of... I don't want to attack superior numbers. Can I maybe just, like, poke at them from long range? I'm guessing they've got rifled muskets, too. They also have an elevation advantage. Am I really getting flanked, though? Like, where... I don't see these guys shooting, so who's shooting from the flank? As far as I can tell, no one. They're bringing the 4th Brigade onto my flank. We're bringing Polk up. Artillery's doing nothing because they can't get a line of sight on the enemy. Trying to link these forces up. Go engage the enemy troops in their trenches with your skirmishers. Looks like they pulled at least some troops out of the trenches. So we're fighting on this flank. How are the casualty? Morale's not bad. It claims we're getting hit in the flank, but it doesn't look like it. The lead skirmisher unit here is probably going to rout. Brigade behind it, probably not. They're advancing on me here. So these guys could fire into Drayton's flank, perhaps. Looks like that's what they're doing here. Problem is their troops are all nice and rested, which influences their performance. My troops are not. Let's try and advance into their flank. Might expose our own flank a little bit, but this brigade here, Drayton's brigade, is losing the bulk of our men so far. We're giving some punishment back. Does advancing and falling back affect the unit's accuracy? I assume so. I don't know exactly to what extent. There's definitely morale penalties when you withdraw or whatnot under fire. Alright, so we've actually reversed the casualty count with this fighting here, although Drayton may not hold out much longer. It does look like we're driving back the 4th Brigade here under pressure. The 2nd Brigade's getting hit in the flank by drowning. A little bit anyway. I'd rather you pivot this direction here, Drayton. Don't give them your flank quite so easily. At least these guys are further out. Hoping Drayton can hold out till nightfall. Alright, good news. 4th Brigade's routed. These guys must also be green for them too, for the enemy. I mean, these are newly raised units, so they won't fight as hard. I don't think. Skirmishers, meanwhile, drove off the 2nd Brigade here. I have a hunch their lead troops in these formations don't have rifled muskets, because we seem to be firing at extreme range here, not taking any return fire with our Enfield rifled muskets, while the enemy is taking fire. Meanwhile, Drayton, hang in there, boys. 100 casualties. The enemy brigade in your front has lost 500. Bring Polk up. Enemy cavalry's swinging in here as a reserve. Know how much longer Drayton will hold. Alright, 2nd Brigade's routed too. They lost heavy casualties. We're dealing with some Confederate artillery now, although we have our own guns here. Dismounted enemy cavalry. Hopefully they don't have repeaters. I don't know that Drayton's going to be able to hold against that much weight of reinforcement, but ground should be okay. That brigade routed. Artillery is firing into the cavalry as well. 70 versus 5. Bolt's coming up, but probably not fast enough. What time's nightfall? Does it tell me? Look like it. Enemy casualties are now definitely above us. They've sent some skirmishers out at least to try and beat back our pesky assault on their entrenchments. 4th Brigade's routed, the 2nd Brigade is routed. bunkering their troops in the trenches with... Alright, there goes... like Drayton's brigade routed after pretty heavy casualties. The polk finally came up and got into the fight, but it was too late. The artillery's taking some casualties as well, but they're at least doing some damage now. The Army of Virginia's lost just shy of 1,000 men. The game still claims it's roughly an even fight, but the enemy has 41,000 troops on the battlefield now. We've got 18,000. Percentage-wise, it's definitely favoring the enemy. Hopefully I can get those routed units back into the fight tomorrow. I don't know how useful Drayton will be, but the other brigade which routed might not be too bad. We've had 2 brigades full on routed. They've had just 2. We're shooting up this cavalry brigade pretty good. I might be hurting my artillery fairly. I don't know if they're really shooting at them. I can't tell. The polk's only lost 22 men. The cavalry's lost over 200. Brown's lost about 140 men, and we've inflicted well more than that on the 2 brigades in our front. They've at least issued the retreat order to their cavalry. Cool if we hit them with canister fire while they're mounted up. They shoot with the artillery. We're engaging these enemy troops now to our front. They're in trenches, so we may not fare as well, but we are in cover at least. Back their skirmishers. So that's at least 3 of their brigades routed. We have at least 2. Oh, I don't know. Sorry. I don't know if you want to stop that notification, Hauser, if you're around for the Victoria 3 thing. Obviously, I'm not playing Victoria 3 right now. Okay, it should be nighttime soon. Before any more troops rout. Okay, these guys are getting shot up pretty good. Whoa, they broke really easily. Why the hell did they break so easily? They lost like 200 men. That was bullshit. What are casualties now? We're closing in on evening the percentages at least. This is not Victoria. There we go. Day. Troops resupplied. There you go. All right, so deployment. Our units are still not linked up. Did these guys rally? They did. Okay. Let's bring them up. Drayton's boys, they'll fight again, but they're not in good shape morale-wise, so we'll put them in reserve. I don't know if the enemy's going to hold their position here or if they're going to move somewhere else. Branch, you routed, right? So let's give you a breather. Artillery on the road pointing down it. Smith on the flank. Pryor here. Branch, you'll be kind of in reserve. And then we've got this one brigade over here. All right, I'm not even convinced the enemy's going to stay and fight. We'll see. They did not. So they pulled back to some new positions over here. Behind the swamp. We also apparently have some skirmishers that are scattered up here. All right, so let's do this. Zolkov, you're going to swing back down here. And then I guess Klingman, you'll keep their front honest. Or do we not even want to bother with that? Try and concentrate my troops, I guess. Hey, Engel. And what are the enemy doing? They're sending skirmishers out and moving. Okay. Well, I'm moving too. Are they really going to march toward me? Let's halt. Can we redeploy our forces here for a sec? Just stop moving, guys. Get your orders in. All right, here. Let's do this. Let's deploy you guys here in this wood. The enemy's going to come at us through a swamp. Great. No, they're not coming at us. They're just redeploying. So their flank isn't in the air. They might wear themselves out marching around a bit. Granted, so am I. It's raining now also. No, it doesn't, but I don't think they're actually coming for us. Kind of annoying, those skirmishers didn't all come in just when I told them to. They've also got troops moving down this road up here to our right flank, apparently. I don't know if they're chasing my skirmishers or what the deal is there. My own troops are winded. We are going to move into the swamp in the middle of a rainstorm. Okay. Problem is, these skirmishers are probably going to rout if they get hit while they're trying to get out of there. I don't want to just lose 600 men for the sake of it. The enemy is going to come down this road. Oh man, they're really going to try and crush me, huh? And use these trenches, but they're facing the wrong direction. Right, let's do this. Make sure to use these woods as cover. All right, this is gonna be a weird battle. Don't close to short range, guys. I don't think they got the memo. Ooh, that was a big volley, though. 45 casualties on the first volley. I'll take it. Brigade is this coming down on that road to the north? Okay. Alright, we can have skirmishers fire into the flank. This second brigade already fought and got pretty badly shot up the other day. I'm confused by the redeployment and now the fact that they're trying to come down on my flank. Doesn't seem to make a lot of sense. Anyway, we have maybe some cover. They really don't. Okay. 1900 men versus about 1900 men. With the double, boys. Get up to that trench line. Maybe we can take them out piecemeal. I mean, they've got skirmishers coming down on my flank too, but can't imagine this second brigade's gonna have a ton of fight in them. Where are you at, Enrico? Not a lot of reenactment events near you? How long have I been playing this run? What are we? Episode 30? It's 1863. So a while. It was the winter of 61 start. So we're a good deal into it. We're trying to take Philadelphia to wrap it up. Where are you going? Do not move over there. Do not collect $500. Shoot the enemy in front of you. Okay? That's what I'd like you to do. The enemy infantry is still moving slowly. Can they shoot? Like, are they not shooting except when I tell them to shoot? I'm a little confused by this. Okay, nice. So we've got a brigade in action here. Brown's brigade has gotten into this parapet line, and the enemy troops in front of them they have 200 fewer men. They're green. They haven't fought yet. Our troops have. but we're in good old trenches, and the enemy is in open ground. So that's a chance to rough up a brigade. Fire, meanwhile, is losing some heavy casualties here. I do not understand why you're not in a line. I've told you multiple times to get in a line. Go ahead and fall back. Both of these units are nearing routing, I guess. Trying to rout this enemy battery of artillery while we also try to rout the 2nd Brigade. Meanwhile, free slaughter on these troops in the open. Falling back, please don't rout. Says they're nervous. Gotcha. Do they not do a big Gettysburg one every year? I mean, I don't really know. I guess I was always under the impression they probably did, but what do I know? Alright, this unit's lost over half its strength. I would imagine they're done for the battle. Also working on routing this artillery up here. Bring those skirmishers in. Oh, come on, Pryor. How are you broken? Suck. Meanwhile, wow, we got 200 casualties? The enemy's out shooting us? I don't understand that at all. Do they have better weapons? Are they more experienced? 200? We're in an earthen parapet. Got 200 casualties. The enemy's got 200. We started with 20, I think? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we started higher. I think I'm wrong. I think we started higher because these numbers since I came over here are definitely favoring us. What are their losses are 11.2, mine are 11.6. They have double my numbers. The main thing I think we're going to face as an issue is just morale. We're not going to be able to keep the fight going. We'll lose, even if we inflict the casualties we are, our units will gradually rout out before theirs do. Gotta try and defeat them in detail. Looks like we routed this brigade. They didn't lose that many men, though. Skirmishers are fighting in the open here. We routed the enemy artillery battery. Everybody's tired. Move these guys around here into the open. Okay, the enemy's now lost a slightly higher percentage of troops than we have. Take out as many. I mean, I want to try. I mean, this is the battle for Philadelphia, guys. It says Wilmington, but this is a battle that's occurring in Wilmington, Pennsylvania, just outside Philadelphia. We've already taken the fort at Philadelphia. If we win this fight, we'll probably take the capital and win the war, is my assumption. That could be an invalid assumption. We're also fighting in a rainstorm, which is not great. Increases fatigue, reduces, you know, your ability to spot, slows you down massively. You can see these enemy units are just moving incredibly slowly through this open ground because they're moving through a swamp and it's raining. Hey, chap. skirmishers in the open here are doing remarkable work. Keeping the fight going. That battery has no more guns. These guys have some cover and they're firing against the 1st Brigade here. Bring Smith up. I think the 1st is going to rout anyway. We'll have 2 brigades. We can deal with the enemy who's in the open. One of our brigades is what isn't getting shot at. Lurk midnight snack time, you guess? It's all good. Lurkers are all good. All of the troops are just standing still. Alright, we brought 2,000 more muskets to bear on their 1st Brigade. A little bit, a slight advantage in terms of casualties between Branch and this 1st, but when we bring in Smith's Brigade, I imagine it's gonna rapidly change. These skirmishers are trying to pepper the enemy, do their job. And those skirmishers are routing. Okay, though. Alright, we've got an enemy artillery battery in the open here that we are hitting with our own artillery. Now that we've got 10-pound rifled guns, they should be much better at counter battery fire than we just had the smooth bores. They may drive our skirmishers off, but we're going to get these 2 brigades on the flank to deal with these enemy. Temple, thank you for the follow. And we routed the 1st Brigade of theirs. 600 more boys. Running home to their mamas. Alright, we'll shoot at them as they run, and then we'll go ahead and target this 3rd Brigade up here. These guys in, so maybe we'll get a chance to try and flank them. Victory meter is ticking toward us. We've got a slight victory at the moment. Slight advantage in terms of casualties, in terms of percentages. Trying to keep my guys in cover in the woods. Oh, what the fuck? Oh, that's the detachment. Never mind. I don't know if I have enough ammo to deal with all these guys. Right, nice volley coming in. These guys are fragmented, so if the enemy pushes hard, we will probably break here. But at least for the moment, while these guys are all facing the prior skirmishers here, Polk should be able to get some nice flanking shots in on this detachment, and then really the 1st Brigade is what I'm most interested in. You know, it looks like our artillery routed BB's detachment. So they did their job. Okay, so the skirmishers routed. Bone, you're going to engage from this wood line here. We've already fought a bit, but you're in good cover. So if the enemy is going to advance on our position here, they're going to have to come against slightly, I wouldn't call them entrenched, but troops that are in cover. Let's see if we can bring Smith up behind him. We'll give Branch, well, Branch is coming up too, but now we're moving into the swamp, as you can see here, which is going to slow us down considerably. But now it kind of becomes a morale game. If we can wreck their morale before they can wreck ours, we're in good shape. The problem is they've got so many more units and men than us that it becomes a bit of a numbers game. Right. Our artillery is moving nice and quickly through this parapet. Nice little sodden down land here. Polk has really not taken any punishment yet. 1st Brigade of the 2nd Division of the 2nd Corps. Taking 200 casualties here. They're not shooting, they're just moving, so they're getting hit from 2 brigades at the moment. Also hitting the brigade behind them, the 3rd Brigade, which has already lost over 1,000 men. With Branch's brigade, who's not getting shot back at the moment. 2nd Brigade over here is rallying despite the fact that they've lost over 1,600 men. So the enemy has some desperation in him, it seems. Also, we did recover, Polk recovered from the fragmentation. He is still disrupted, but he is not overly tired yet. He is tiring, and he's not fragmented. These enemy brigades might be trying to close with Polk for a melee, I'm not sure. But they're going to get hit in the flank by Bowen, who's not getting shot at. No, Branch is now tired. Got 2 brigades firing into the 3rd Brigade's flank. And so they actually stopped, and now they're firing at point blank range at Polk. But Polk is in a tree line, so he's got some cover. He's got Bowen's support. Brown is behind him. Artillery firing into these guys too. That brigade's gonna get murdered. And the percentages are swinging more and more in our favor. Let's hope this is the final battle here. I hoped this would be the final battle. It may not be. May have another fight or two. You can see this brigade is melting. 6,000 casualties. Or 600 casualties. 650. Falling back and retreating now. Their skirmishers are trying to rejoin them. Almost 700 casualties now. Maybe they're not trying to rejoin them. Maybe their skirmishers are trying to save them from a butchery. Most of my troops' ammunition situation still better than half. 700 casualties now. 3rd Brigade is over 1,800, approaching 2,000 casualties. They're getting hit in front and flank. Troops they're shooting at in front are, some of them are behind cover. Other troops are on their flank. These guys have lost over 700 casualties. 4th Brigade is coming up. Washburn skirmishers are shooting now. Alright, I know things are beginning to get good as the Federals are assaulting our position on day 2, and it'll be interesting to see if they keep coming across these open fields against us toward our position in the woods. Hopefully they do. But we'll see how this plays out in our next episode. We've been going for almost an hour. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this one up here. It is the Battle of Williamsburg or whatever, but it's functionally the Battle of Philadelphia. This is the battle for the 2nd Federal Capital, and we'll see if we're able to win it. With that being said, that's going to do it for today's episode. So until next time, this is the Historical Gamer saying thank you very much for watching, and I'm out. Bye-bye.